Welcome back to the latest episode of the Key and Mang audio experience. I'm your host, Mang, as always, with my fellow co-host, Key. Key, what's goody?
What's up? How are you?
Good. Sun's starting to shine in, so can't complain.
I haven't even looked at what it looks like outside.
I
And
wonder,
it is
it's
so
cold. It's
crazy.
cold. I know you guys got hit with a cold spell not too long. The Northeast got hit with the cold spell.
I know it's really cold. Anything under like 50 degrees is cold for me. I've been cold. People are
Yeah,
like, oh, it's warm today. I'm like, it's been cold for months. I don't know what you're talking about warm. They be like, well, it's warmer than yesterday. I'm like, I don't know.
yeah. I feel like there's been you've seen snow in Atlanta, snow in Dallas. But Anchorage, I see pictures of there's no you see green grass, like people's backyards. There's no snow. I'm like, this is very weird.
Odd.
Yeah, very, very odd, very weird. But we're into February now, so hopefully we're seeing the worst of the we've seen the worst of the cold spells and it starts to warm up soon.
I feel like February gets bad.
You know, you never know now. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That is true.
I wanted to see what your thoughts were because I know we've been talking about like courses and how to find the right one, and you come across some thoughts. We've both seen some courses that were like, oh, I thought it was going to be this, but got this. Just wanted your overall thoughts on how what you've seen in some courses that you invested in, and just what we should be looking for, essentially.
Okay, so let me preface it this way. So I think with social media and the way people are able to like present themselves to the world, it kind of gives other people the thought that they have it all figured out. They have a really great product, and like they're experts in whatever they do, just based on how they put themselves out there, which is it's not a bad thing, right? And I think as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as people who are looking to always improve, I think we kind of get caught up in this image that people have, and that plays into our decision into whether we're gonna buy from them or not. And not just image based on like how they look, but how they present their information in the image of their brand, right? And I think that plays a role into why we buy certain products. And I've definitely made decisions based on that personally. And what I've found with some of the courses and the mentorship and things like that I've invested in is it's not giving me the information that I felt was missing, or the information that I felt I needed. And I'm not saying that the programs I've invested in are bad. It's just that I feel like I'm always thinking that somebody has something that I don't have, and I need to invest in their course to get it. But really, when I get inside their course and pull back the curtain, it's not really anything groundbreaking. Not saying that their course is bad, it's just more so, or the information is bad, it's more so that it's not it's not anything that I'm missing. And then that leads me to believe that instead of looking outward and externally at what other people are doing and how other people are posting content, thinking they have like the secret solution, I think we have to really focus on refining what we already have, because like the more I invest into things and I am searching for a missing answer and I'm always shown that there is no missing answer, I feel like the fact that there's a common denominator there, it just makes more sense to just refine what you already have as opposed to trying to look at somebody else's stuff to find a secret when you already have all the tools. So I think it's an interesting concept, and I think we all put people on pedestals based on how we perceive them, based on how they present themselves. But I think it takes for it to happen a lot for you to realize that, hey, I'm not really missing anything. I just need to maximize what I'm already doing. But that also takes effort, and it's easier to feel like if I buy a course and press a button, I'm going to get the answer. But that's not how it works.
For sure. And I think you're also, once you do that, you're more inclined to just let it coast and not actually take what the action steps are from the course into your own personal life. Like, I think a lot of the times, like, we're looking for shortcuts to get through the hard stuff in the weeds, but not wanting to put our boots on and dig deep to implement what we're supposed to implement. Because I think a lot of the people that we buy from, the courses that we buy from, the people who are selling it have gotten to a certain point, whether it's in podcasting, whether it's in digital arts, whether it's in training, they've elevated themselves to top of mind, excellent at their craft, and you're wanting to get to the same level. But I think sometimes what's missing in a lot of these is that you don't see, we've talked about this before, you don't see just how long it took for them to get to X point. And that sometimes it's not a overnight thing where it's like, all right, you buy this course, you immediately start to do this in your podcast and you're going to grow from 10 downloads to a million downloads. It's like it's something that takes time. You got to cultivate relationships with your listeners, cultivate relationships with potential sponsors, figure out how to get your voice out there to the proper people, how to make ads, how to get your podcast out to the right people at the right time. There's a lot that goes into it, and I think we sometimes just look for a quick band-aid, quick fix for trying to get information and shy away from actually doing what needs to be done. And I think kind of what you mentioned is like it's an eye opener of like, okay, we have all this information, appear to be doing things right, but why aren't we getting the results that we're looking for? We then gotta look at ourselves and be like, all right, what needs to change here? Do I need to invest my time into something else, whether it's spending more time outlining how the day is going to go so I can dedicate time to um, dedicate time to this project, or do I need to read this book to work on my sales calls, or do I need to work on this website to work on this, go to this resource to work on ads or my website or whatever the case may be. So then I think it's a lot of it's just on us, and I think it's easy. I'll speak for myself. I think once you get the course, you're like, all right, I'm looking for this, and this, and then I kind of neglect the other things that need to be paid attention to help me get to where I'm supposed to be. So that's something that I've realized now, and I think I was listening to this pod on Melanin Money, and it was talking about this dude was like he has a seven-figure podcast, and he's like, I don't do any of the like editing. I don't do any of the like preparing for guests. I don't do scheduling. I don't do none of that. All my time is devoted to creating partnerships and the things I'm actually good at. And then I have my team do take care of the rest. And I feel like examples like that, it's like, all right, if honed in on what you're really good at and what you need to focus on, and then you have a team around you. And if you don't have a team, then you got to figure out what you're really good at, hone in on those things. And then as you get going, I think you can then start to delegate to other people, VAs, interns, whatever the case may be. So I think um, the courses, I think if you're getting a course from someone that you trust, you're expecting a certain thing, and it might not be what you expected, but I think a lot of them they lay the foundation, the groundwork for what needs to be done to get you to that level. And then it's up to you to look inside to be like, all right, I need to do this. I need to commit to doing this. I need to make sure that if I want to get somewhere close to their stratosphere, that I need to do X, Y, Z. So I think it's tough. Like we look for quick fixes, but I think we also got, like you said, we got to look well within to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to help us get to where we're trying to get to, because that's why we bought the course anyway to begin with.
Right. And I think also like nowadays there's no shortage of information too when you think about it. I think it's more so the execution of it. And I preach that to my rehab and like my fitness clients. Like if information was the thing that stopped me from either getting better or reaching your goal, then you wouldn't have this issue because there's so much information out there. It's more so like how you execute it and implement it based on your circumstances. So it's funny that I go and invest. in these courses when I teach the same thing in a different realm. So it's just interesting and ironic that I run into not this issue, but I run into this experience and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. When I've been preaching that just in a different niche.
Sometimes
Take
that's
my own advice, basically.
exactly. Sometimes you just gotta see it from a different perspective, and I think
Yeah.
that helps the flip switch. And I think I know for me, it's been helpful for helping me like lock in on what needs to be locked in on. So, um, we're always our worst like critic, our worst patient. If you tell people all the stuff you're supposed to do, and then when it comes to us doing it, that can take a little bit. You got to hear it a lot of different ways for it to finally register.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I say we talk about this, but I also don't think that I'm gonna stop investing in certain things. It's just I'm gonna like put my time into investments that come with more support that'll help me execute because the information isn't the issue. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying not to invest in things, but I think you need to take a look at where you're at. There's something flying here. You need to take a look at where you're at in whatever situation you're trying to improve and realize if it's the information you need or if it's the execution part you need. And if it's the execution part you need, then you wouldn't fare well just doing a course. You need more touch points and more support. So I think just having that self-awareness of where you are instead of just making a investment that makes you feel good about doing something. I think that's kind of where we get caught up when we're trying to like fill a void in what we actually need to do. Because when you buy a course, you feel productive before you even do anything.
Hmm.
So that ends up just sitting in your email. You don't ever do the course login. You don't ever log in and do anything. So if you don't need the information, then go with the investment where you're able to actually get help that forces you to execute or helps you execute.
And if you feel like that, like if you buy a course and you don't log in, reach out to the person who runs it and be like, "Hey, is there a chance I could work with you like extra? I need extra help." And more likely than not, they're going to say yes. It might be a different cost, but that's that's what happens. I think like the good courses will have ways to allow you to um I don't know what the word is, but like
Level up,
level up,
upgrade.
upgrade to different services that they provide. And I think if you want to get more closer to the source, then it's going to cost you more money, but then you can streamline your problems faster. You're going directly to the source. They're invested in you because you invested in them. So I think it's a two-way relationship, but I think that helps you get to where you're trying to get to faster.
I agree. I don't have anything else on this topic, but actually, I lied. I do. The point of the course typically is to get you to upgrade and work with them. So if you are somebody who has bought a course, definitely ask for more support if that's something you're needing, as opposed to like going somewhere else and trying to make that purchase all over, thinking it's the information you need. So it's likely the support you need. So the course was definitely made to upgrade you into the next program because that's just the next logical step. So I would say definitely do that. And then if you're still not getting the information you want, I would definitely just take a look inward and kind of see what you're missing on your end because most times we have everything we need to succeed. We just need to implement it or find gaps in our day or gaps in our habit that we're not addressing.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard the lady. We'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.